Hello and welcome to Scuttlebutt, a program that brings you the latest news and information from our new generation Navy. I'm Warrant Officer of the Navy, Mark Tandy. I've just returned from the fleet concentration period off the eastern coast of Australia. A bit more on that later. As the fleet was preparing to begin the new year, Navy decision makers were meeting in Sydney to discuss the future. The Sea Power Conference brought together uniformed and civilian maritime experts from around the world. HMAS Huon prepares to mark a new day. The Minehunters crew are here to represent Navy at what's become a major event on calendars, not just of the Royal Australian Navy, but also of navies across the globe. Inside the Darling Harbour Convention Centre, delegates gathered to consider and discuss the way ahead in maritime security. The Sea Power Conference is held every 2 years. The theme this time around was Combined and Joint Operations from the Sea. With Australia's Navy now just a short few years away from acquiring a new amphibious capability, delegates were eager to hear how it would fit into the ADF's overall strategy. The Canberra-class amphibious ship project will provide the Australian Defence Force with one of the most capable and sophisticated air, land, sea amphibious deployment systems in the world. The RAN is getting 2 of them, each weighing 27,000 tonnes. The Defence Minister told delegates the price tag is well worth the cost.
The Canberra-class amphibious ship project will provide the Australian Defence Force with one of the most capable and sophisticated air, land, sea amphibious deployment systems in the world. This $3 billion project will substantially enhance our ability to quickly deploy humanitarian relief where it's needed and provide maritime manoeuvre of substantial land forces.
The Minister reminded delegates that moves are already underway to prepare Navy for the most massive cultural and structural change that these ships will bring. The New Generation Navy program, he said, was an essential part of the coming change.
New Generation Navy's had a successful first year with a restructure that will lay the foundations for cultural change. Along with leadership commitment and development, this will transform Navy into a more sustainable and people-focused organisation.
NGN's founder, Chief of Navy Vice Admiral Russ Crane, agrees. Future manning challenges, he said, call for a new way of thinking, with the LHDs crewed by a truly joint force.
The LHD Ships Company is testament to this, with a significant number of soldiers permanently posted to the ship, as well as members of our Air Force. To ensure that the amphibious capability continues to develop and maintain a high level of readiness, the optimum balance for embarking landing personnel is required.
Sea Power delegates were treated to a range of experts on a wide variety of issues, from relations between China and Japan to lessons learned in East Timor with former Chief of Defence General Peter Cosgrove. But Navy's amphibious future was a major theme throughout the Sea Power Conference. A question and answer session with some of the project's key players sparked some healthy discussion, particularly in regards to how Navy's new assets would work with civilian agencies and non-government organisations in times of natural disasters.
The LHD ship design is of course flexible, and it's pretty intuitive to say that you've got a large command and control platform with the ability to provide helicopters, water, bulk fuel, engineering plant and equipment ashore in any environment that you choose. And in disaster relief that of course becomes a significant capability. The counter to that is to remember that all the equipment that we're operating is specialised and tailored to operate in that environment. So I guess the challenge is that whilst we could pre-position or containerise stores and pick them up and have them available as a policy decision, the issue is getting stuff that's not designed to go to sea over a beach.
I was keen to see for myself what this new capability would look like. Next door to the Sea Power Conference, the defence community was holding an expo of its own. Pacific 2010 brings together a who's who of the defence industry. moves are underway to create an LHD in virtual reality, and they've done a great job. Using a games console and a computer screen, I found myself walking the passageways of an LHD. It was truly a remarkable experience. A training version of the program is expected to be made available to Navy personnel later this year, with a more complex guided tour due to come online in 2011. There were no prizes for guessing what the hot topic of discussion was at the CPOW conference cocktail party. Delegates left ready for the challenges ahead and upbeat about the Navy's future capability. The Fleet Concentration Period is one of Navy's largest and most important exercises. People and our assets have just completed a challenging 5-week period operating off New South Wales and Queensland coasts. It's as close to the real thing as we can get. In this evolution, HMA ships Anzac, Darwin, Sirius, Arunta, Warramunga and HMNZS Tamana defended themselves from Avalonian aircraft attacks.
Speed is 5. Attention on the bridge, Sub-Lieutenant Perry has the con, Lieutenant Leeds retains the ship.
The aim of this phase of the Fleet Concentration Period was to practice specific skills of anti-air warfare and anti-ship missile defence. Below decks, the pace was just as frantic. This damage control exercise on board HMAS Anzac was repeated at various stages across the fleet. The exercise initially began as a standing sea fire brigade exercise and was then expanded to involve the whole ship's company once the number of casualties was revealed.
How is he responsive? Has he said anything?
15 casualties evacuated and treated, vital skills tested and valuable lessons learned.
DCI blessing. Casualties get up and go help the reconstitution so the DCIs have got their debrief.
The exercise continued around the clock. This night vision shows the ship's flight crew operating a RAST. That's short for Recovery, Assist, Secure and Traverse. It's designed to catch and hold a helicopter landing on a flight deck during most sea states, then pull it into the hangar safely. The cable is attached to the aircraft, which when tightened, helps the Seahawk land on target. They make it look easy. Don't be fooled. As the exercise came into its climax, the Chief of Navy dropped in to see how it was going. Vice Admiral Crane was keen to discuss the outcomes and to explain the New Generation Navy program.
I can't do it on my own. I need everybody in Navy on board.
NGN turns 1 in April. Its focus is on improving Navy leadership, culture and structure. CN says NGN has come a long way in the past 12 months, but we still have a way to go.
Well, I'm very pleased with the way the New Generation Navy program has been running over the last year. Already I think we're starting to see improvements in the way in which Navy goes about its business that are framed around the New Generation Navy objectives, in particular the signature behaviours.
And CN had this to say to those personnel who may be still sceptical about NGN's eventual success.
It is going to take us a long time. When I announced the program last year, I set a time frame of 5 years for the cultural change. It will take us that long, but what we must do is maintain the rage. We must maintain our commitment, we must maintain our enthusiasm, and it will change.
As the fleet sailed back into Sydney Harbour, Vice Admiral Crane and the fleet had good cause to reflect on the year ahead and the challenges to come. Well, that's it for our first edition of Scuttlebutt in 2010. We look forward to bringing you another edition in June. Until next time, I'm Mark Tandy. Train safe.